Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. We are going to be going over the finances behind the most recent PSA reveal I showcased on my channel, which is linked down below in the description if you're interested in checking that out. But we are going to start off here. We'll just go over some of the overall numbers of the order. 13 10s, 11 9s, no lower grades, so pretty good, reveal. Not a crazy high gem rate, but only 9s and 10s, very rare to see. I expect to get some of those lower grades. It happens, it's part of the process, but 54% gem rate overall, grading cost just under $600, and you can see down here, purchase price of the card is just over $1,200, so with shipping, $1,233 into this order for $1,830 total. So let's get into the cards. First up is the 2011 Topps Update Mike Trout. US 175 rookie, very iconic card. I want this in a 10 for my collection. This one only got a 9, so currently I have it, displayed. It's in my collection, and then once I get a 10, eventually I'll upgrade it, and then I'll sell this 9 that I have. But got it for a very reasonable price before the season started, $250, valued at around $400. You can see here that this PSA offer was lower than the net value, which I'll go over the net value here in a second when we get to the Jose Ramirez card, but I wasn't going to accept a PSA offer on this card anyways, unless they offered me like $600 or something crazy, just because I do want it for my collection. So I do grade for profit, to flip cards, to make money, but ultimately I use that money to fund the collection I want, because it's really hard to go spend $400 on a PSA 9 Trout rookie and just put your money in that and display it, So we'll get into some of the other numbers here as we get into this Ramirez card, since we did accept a PSA offer on this one. So I bought this one raw for $25. Jose Ramirez market is really strong in graded cards. PSA 9 value of $70 just from some recent comps on eBay, which you're making money on a PSA 9 then, not now since grading's $80 a card, but if they ever, or when they open up value bulk, as long as it's like, my prediction is probably like $30 a card or so maybe. This is still a pretty profitable card to send in. You can still make a couple bucks on 9 and then make good money on 10. So definitely a card I'm still targeting. Now, to get into this net value, I say this every time I do a video, this is not net profit. Net profit would be, subtracting out the purchase price and all that. Net value is 85% of the card value, and the reason I do 85% is because when I sell a card on eBay, there's a 13% sales fee, and then I always promote all my listings at 2%, so that's 15% in fees that gets taken out on every single card, roughly. Granted, sometimes it's 0.5% higher or 0.5% lower, but it works out to about 15%, so that's a good, clean, easy number to use. So my net value means that if I sold this card for $70 on eBay, I expect to receive $59.50 payout to my bank account. And I want to use that to compare to the PSA offer, because the PSA offer on this card was $66, which is higher than the net value. So I am getting more money than I'd sell for on eBay. I don't have to find a buyer, and I don't have to wait the time, to sell the card. I'm getting this money instantly. PSA, if you accept an offer on PSA, you have 24 hours to accept offers on your order. If you accept one, the money's in your bank account the next day. So to me, cards that I plan on selling no matter what, unless in my head they've got room for appreciation, over the next month or two, I'm going to be accepting any PSA offers that are equal to or higher than the net value. And that's why I calculate net value. I'll also get into why I don't care about net profit per card here in a minute. But let's get to the next card. The biggest card in the order, 2014 Topps Finest, spelled Finest wrong, that's annoying. Topps Finest, Jose Ramirez X Fractor, PSA 10. Bought this one raw for $145, and the most two recent sales on a PSA 10 are close to $800. I think I'm going to actually just list this on my eBay store at $1,000. OBO, see what happens. I'd be willing to sell it at $800. I mean, I'd be making great money on the card, and I think that's a fair price. But I also think that since it's such a low population card, if we go over to, let's go to gem rate real quick, and let's search up this 2014 Finest X-Fractor Ramirez card. You can see there are 39 PSA 10s. Now, I graded this card. It's an excellent gem rate, 83% gem rate with PSA. That's why I graded it. You can see 39 10s, 8 9s, no lower grades. That's definitely, why I graded this card. It's mathematically profitable. And I've gone through this process before on how I determine if a card is mathematically profitable to grade or not. So, high gem rate, great margin, not much risk involved. Very happy with this purchase and grade. But I think I could get 680 out of it, if I sell it on eBay. And PSA didn't even offer me. This card doesn't sell much. It's only sold a couple times in the past 6 months, I believe. So just not a card they wanted to offer on, which is fine. But I'm making great money. Now, I'm making great money on this card, but the reason, as I mentioned before, that I do not care about my net profit is because this is all mathematical for me, right? I just mentioned it. We got the super high gem rate, 83% on this Ramirez X-Fractor. Well, guess what? That means 1 in 6 times this card is going to come back a 9. And when it comes back a 9, I'm either going to break even, or lose money. But I've got 25 cards in this grading order, so overall, one card doesn't matter. Sure, you can make $1,000 on one card. You could lose $200 or $300 on one card. But what matters is what you do in the long run. Nobody's going to care if, oh, great job, you made $1,000 profit on one card. Well, guess what? The other 24 cards in your order all lost $100. You're down $1,400. So I care about my net profit for the order, but not per card, because for the order, it accounts for every single card that I sent in, which were all supposed to be mathematically profitable, but they're only mathematically profitable in large quantities, unless you have a statistically significant amount of samples, which for me, anything over a 20 card grading order is a good enough sample size to determine whether or not you were successful or not. If I sent off 2 cards, sure, I could get 2 10s, I could get 2 9s. I'm either making or losing money there. Here, it all works out. Enough ranting. Let's fly through a few of these here. Scooble, base rookie, pretty simple, cheap card to pick up. It's about a $50 raw card right now. The reason I didn't accept the PSA offer, even though it's higher than this net value here, is because I see him getting traded, within the next month to a contender. I know Dodgers are rumored a lot, but even if it was someone like the Yankees, I could see that card going up to, $70, $80 raw and making more money there. So that's why I didn't accept that offer. And he just came back from injury. Whammy Trout, a bit of an unfortunate grade, paid up for it raw, wanted to get that 10, didn't get it, probably only $80 and a 9, but I am optimistic on the Whammies long term. I know that their values have been going up over the past year, just looking at some past sales, but I think that they've got a lot of room to go in, the case hit insert market. A couple of all edge Ohtani PSA 10s. One got an offer accepted just because the PSA offer came in over the net value. One didn't, even though it was only $5 off. Ohtani's so liquid. I can list this up on eBay at $100 and accept an offer at 90 pretty easily. So I'll know I'll make those few extra dollars. Keontae George Green Prism from 2023 Prism. Pretty simple one to accept the offer on. The offer is higher than the card value. So when I sell it, obviously I'm going to get less than that because of fees. So just a quick, easy card. His market really went up last season. It could go up more, but I am happy to make my money, right now. Wemby highlighted. They didn't grade it, marked it as I forget how they didn't mark it as altered, but they marked it as do not holder. So something with the dimensions off, or it looked like maybe it had been messed with. I don't know. To me, it looked dimensionally fine, but to them, they didn't want to grade it. It happens from time to time. Sometimes you send the card back in, they grade it next time. Other times they won't. So we'll see what happens there. Cosmic Wembanyama PSA 10. This is an interesting one. So this is an unlicensed rookie. I was buying these at $25 to $35 raw. These shot up over $100 when they made their playoff run. PSA 10 selling, up close to like $750, $800, I think. And I accepted an offer of $488 on this because I expected, especially for a non-licensed card. I expected for the value to drop significantly in the offseason, especially after that finals loss. I just don't see it being one of his more desirable rookie cards for people to collect. I could see his base Prism rookie cards being much more popular. So that's why I accepted a PSA offer that was lower than the net value, but I just checked Card Ladder, and I think one sold for like $700 in the past few days, so maybe I made the wrong decision, but never going to complain about making $400 on a unlicensed base rookie card. That's just crazy to me. 2024 Reed Shepherd Green, PSA 10. Didn't accept this offer either because I think that he could have a breakout season for the Rockets. Year 3 in the NBA for guards typically seems to be a make or break year in the card market for them, so I'm betting on make. Steph Curry X Factor, PSA 9. Should have just sold this one raw when they were up to like $60 raw when everyone was going crazy about trading them in for blue X Factors. Unfortunately, I sent off this grading order about like 12 hours before they made that announcement, I think. So nothing I could do there. Wemby Pulsar PSA 10. Absolutely incredible purchase there. Bought it for $5 raw off eBay. Accepted an offer at $320. I get that it's a tougher grade. You know, if we go look over here at gem rate, and this is where I get all my information on the gem rates for cards, you know, it's exactly in the name. If we look at Wembanyama, Yama Pulsar from Chrome, you can see the gem rate's not bad on it, 46% at PSA, so pretty close to a 50-50. I know the raw prices are higher than this now, but really solid profit there on that card. This Knepple I pulled myself out of Topps Chrome. I think I'm going to list it now. At first I was like, well, I pulled it myself, maybe I want to keep it for the PC, but I think what I'm going to do is just keep like the flag and Knepple base Topps cards I pulled for the PC instead. The X Factor I don't care as much about, and it's a 9. It's not like it's a 10. Mallowalk Gold Ray Wave PSA 9. This one's going to be up for sale on my eBay store. I know someone had asked about it. Really not sure what to price it at. Not going to make money on this card. Definitely going to lose some. Probably be out the grading fee, but you know, it was worth it. Go for it. A gold rookie out of 50. Probably the worst lottery pick in the most, not the most recent draft, but the most recent rookie class. So not much you can do there. Had a little tough stretch here. Cedric Coward Prism Refractor. His market dropped after I bought this card too, so the PSA 9 only being worth about $15. We accepted the $11 PSA offer. Did good on the Dirks, so we went 1 for 2 on the glass canvas. Dirks 110, 19. You can see that I was into them for 135 and 120. The one that I don't know which one's which, but I just associated the PSA 10 with the higher value, just to make the numbers look cleaner. But $320 offer accepted on that PSA 10. That was well over my net projected value. Same thing with the PSA 9. The PSA 9 value, I know, like their most recent sale is 140, which would put this number pretty close to the PSA offer, but still happy to not have to find a buyer. The Siakam, they really, you know, lowballed me here on this offer, $62.50. I was into that for more than grading and got a PSA 10. I think this glass canvas is going to be a pretty popular, you know, insert set long term. It's a hard set to grade. Doesn't seem like there's very many of these cards out there. They're all pretty low pop with PSA right now. And pretty much everyone in the set's a star. Like Siakam's the worst card in the set. He's the worst player. And that's still a card that I value at over $100. So very, very nice set. First year, Topps Chrome's had the license in over 15 seasons. I just think that, you know, one of the more iconic insert sets from that, kind of like a Downtown or a Kaboom from Panini. I think that glass canvas could be similar to that. Maybe not as high pricing wise, but definitely could still carry some hype throughout the years. Anthony Davis Rockstars PSA 9. That's supposed to be a really easy grade, like 80-90% gem rates. If we go back here, usually I don't do this when I go through these videos, but I'm just on I'm on a gemrate.com. I'm on a gemrate.com trend. Alright, I was going to look for the whole set. I'm not going to do that right now. So if we look up Rockstars Davis. Oh, well, That's unfortunate. 27%. That's horrible. All right, Anthony Davis is a horrible example. Let's look up like Cade Cunningham. Yeah, 76% gem rate. So I just got unlucky. I didn't look at his specific card when I set it off. I just knew that Rockstars had a high gem rate. Anthony Davis, tough card to get a PSA 10 on those Rockstars. So if you have one, keep your eyes out. 2 sleek finishers, Tatum, golds out of 50, no offers. Think that those are priced pretty well. It's a nice insert. True gold Tatum Celtics uniform, always going to sell well. The Clutch Gene Gold got a 9. We're going to throw that up on eBay, no offer. And then we had 2 James Harden Clutch Gene Gold Geometrics. The 10 I accepted a $58 offer on. His cards just don't sell well, primarily because he's a team hopper and hasn't ever done anything in the playoffs. So not the hugest fan base out there to really collect them. So overall, we had $2,300 in PSA offers. I accepted $1,600, so that's pretty good percentage of them I accepted. Just a lot of strong offers. My expected value was just under $3,300, so I was taking the offers I accepted plus my net value on the cards that I did not accept offers on. And with that, we led ourselves to a projected profit of $1,464.83 for an ROI of 80%. So nothing crazy. I try to aim for 100% ROI on these bulk orders, value bulk orders, but again, I had to cut, like, this Wemby card didn't grade, right? So if that Wemby card had graded, even if it was a 9, it was worth the raw value I put in. Now we're up to 85. If it had gotten a 10, I don't even know what 10s sell for right now. I'd have to assume like 600. Now we're at the 100% gem rate. So just some stuff that was a lot out of my control there. Like I said, I already sold 1,600. So my current profit, I am down $230 on this order, but that's not bad considering that, I've accepted these PSA offers, but all these cards without PSA offers accepted are going to be going up for sale on the eBay store. Selling this finest Jose Ramirez X Factor, even if it only sells for like $500, which would be horribly wrong, we're still in the money. So going to be in the money on this order, guaranteed. Not yet, but we're very close. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, like and subscribe. Comment what you think down below. I know this is a little more mathematical, analytical, maybe not as interesting, but I know some of you guys out there really like it. This spreadsheet will be linked down below in the description. Not this exact one, but the same kind of template if you're interested in checking that out. Also in the description will be a link to my eBay store if you want to purchase anything I have for sale. As always, thank you guys for watching. 2K for life. Peace.